My brothers and sisters, we live in a world where your energy is currency, more valuable than gold, more powerful than weapons, and more sacred than sleep. But the tragedy is this: many are bankrupt not because they lack strength, but because they waste it. They pour their fire into foolishness, feed their focus to distractions, and donate their purpose to people who never deserved it. You were not created to fight every battle. You were not born to explain yourself to everyone. You were not sent to this world to spend your life trying to fix what was never your burden. And until you learn where not to spend your energy, you will continue to be tired, frustrated, and far from your calling. One of the most fatal mistakes you can make in this life is to keep giving your energy to those who have chosen blindness over truth. You cannot teach vision to the willfully blind. You cannot explain light to those who have sworn allegiance to darkness. And yet, many of us waste our precious energy every day arguing with those whose hearts are already hardened, whose minds are already locked, and whose ears are trained only to hear what they already believe. That is not wisdom, that is self-destruction. There are people who do not want understanding, they want conflict. There are people who will twist your truth, deny your facts, reject your experience, and still ask you to explain. You give them words and they give you mockery. You give them reason and they hand you disrespect. You give them patience and they repay you with insult. Why? Because their goal is not to learn. They are not seeking clarity. Their goal is to drain you. Their mission is to trap you in a cycle of emotional exhaustion so that you never have the strength to fulfill your real assignment. Your voice is a weapon, but even the strongest weapon becomes useless when fired in the wrong direction. You must learn to choose your battles wisely. Not every disagreement deserves your attention. Not every debate requires your involvement. Not every critic deserves your response. If someone is not willing to grow, if someone is not open to reason, then your energy is better spent building than convincing. Because while you are explaining yourself to those who will never listen, your vision is sitting neglected, your mission is sitting delayed, and your greatness is sitting in the waiting room of wasted time. Some of you are tired not because life is too heavy, but because you're carrying the weight of opinions that should have never mattered. You argue online with strangers who know nothing about your struggle. You try to justify your choices to people who are secretly praying for your downfall. You keep trying to shine in rooms where they have already decided to close their eyes, and the cost is not just your energy, it's your peace, your clarity, your progress. You are not born to be understood by everyone. Truth has never been popular in a world built on lies. Light has never been welcomed by those who benefit from the darkness, and righteousness has never been applauded by systems that thrive on corruption. So do not confuse rejection with failure. Do not confuse opposition with mistake. Sometimes the resistance you face is confirmation that you are walking in truth. And the worst thing you can do in that moment is to stop and debate with fools who have no intention of rising with you. If a man refuses to open his eyes, no amount of truth will change him. If a woman chooses pride over progress, no explanation will move her. You cannot heal what refuses to be honest. You cannot help what denies it needs help. And you cannot walk forward if you are always turning around to drag the dead weight of toxic debate. Let the blind argue with the blind. Let the ignorant wrestle with their illusions. You have mountains to climb. You have seeds to plant. You have a legacy to build. And let me remind you, your silence is not weakness. Your refusal to engage is not fear. Sometimes silence is the loudest form of wisdom. Sometimes walking away is the strongest act of power. Let fools think what they want. Let critics speak what they will. You are not obligated to shrink your truth to fit their comfort. You are not required to explain your light to those committed to shadows. When your energy is precious, your time becomes sacred. And when your time is sacred, you only spend it where it multiplies purpose, not where it dies in noise. The world is full of distractions dressed as dialogue, full of fools wearing the mask of thinkers, full of empty debates that lead nowhere but deeper into division. You must rise above this. You must elevate your response. You must choose your peace over their poison, because your energy is not infinite. And if you waste it on the blind, you will have nothing left for the vision that was meant to change your life and the world around you. One of the greatest prisons you can live in is the prison of people's approval. It is a silent slavery that wraps itself in smiles and applause. It tells you, be who they want, not who you are. It whispers, please everyone, and maybe, just maybe, they will accept you. And so, many of us give up our truth to be tolerated. We trade our freedom for validation. We bury our purpose just to be liked. But I have come to tell you today, you were not born to please everyone. You were not created to fit the mold. You were sent to break it. Every time you change yourself to win someone's acceptance, you lose a piece of your soul. Every time you silence your truth to avoid rejection, you dim the very light that was meant to guide others. And the most dangerous thing about constantly seeking approval is that it never ends. The more you try to please people, the more they demand. Today they want your silence. Tomorrow they will want your compromise. And by the time you've given them everything, you'll realize they still aren't satisfied, because the goal was never your happiness. It was your obedience. Trying to please everyone is a losing game. You will never be enough for those who refuse to see your worth. And those who truly value you will never ask you to become someone you're not. So why do you waste your energy dancing for applause that doesn't feed your purpose? Why do you wake up trying to win hearts that were never designed to walk with yours? Why do you break yourself to keep others whole? Let me speak plainly. You cannot lead if you need to be liked. You cannot rise if you're afraid of being misunderstood. Every great leader, every revolutionary, every voice of change was first hated before they were honored. They were rejected before they were remembered. Because truth is not popular when lies have been normalized, and the world does not celebrate difference. It resists it. So if your mission is to awaken, to challenge, to elevate, then know this, people, pleasing is poison to your purpose. You must wake up every day asking not, who will like this, but is this right? Ask not, will they approve, but will this serve truth? Because the road to destiny is not lined with praise. It is often paved with isolation. And if you don't learn to walk alone, you will be forever trapped in the crowd, moving to rhythms that are not your own, chanting slogans that do not reflect your heart. Do not confuse popularity with purpose. The loudest voice is not always the wisest. The most followed path is not always the most righteous. You must stand on truth even when it makes you unpopular. You must walk in conviction even when it costs you connection. Because some bridges must burn, not out of hate but out of healing. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going, and not everyone will celebrate the version of you that is finally free. When you stop trying to please everyone, you become powerful. You become focused. You become clear. You no longer waste energy editing yourself. You no longer water down your words. You no longer apologize for being real. You begin to live boldly, speak clearly, move freely, and the right people will find you. The right doors will open, the right battles will make sense, because you are finally living from truth, not approval. And remember this, those who are offended by your authenticity were never for you. Those who leave when you evolve were only loyal to your limitations, so let them go. Let their silence speak. Let your peace grow in their absence, because you are not here to keep everyone comfortable. You are here to walk in your assignment. You are here to carry light. You are here to shake the ground beneath the feet of complacency, and that calling will cost you comfort, but it will reward you with freedom. So I say to you, release the burden of being accepted, burn the mask, speak your truth, stand in your identity, because you were not sent to the world to be understood by all. You were sent to awaken the few who still have the courage to live free. One of the most draining prisons a person can live in is the prison of the past. Too many of our people are walking forward while looking backward. Their feet move, but their spirit is trapped in yesterday. They are haunted by decisions already made, by chances already missed, by moments already gone. They sit in the ashes of regret, replaying scenes that cannot be changed. But I have come to tell you this truth. Regret is not reflection. Regret is a thief, and if you do not let go of the past will never let go of you. You must understand this. What happened, happened. The door has closed, the sun has set, and no amount of guilt, sorrow, or mental torture will reopen that door. Regret pretends to be wisdom, but it is often just pain disguised as memory. It will dress itself in noble robes. I should have, I could have, I would have, but behind those robes is a chain that keeps you reliving failure. A chain that tells you you're not worthy because of what you once did or failed to do. And so you wake up each day not with vision but with shame, not with purpose but with punishment. Let me tell you something loud and clear. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. Your mistakes are not your name. Your failures are not your future. The past is a classroom, not a prison. Take the lesson and leave the burden. You cannot change what happened, but you can change what happens next. You cannot erase the fall, but you can choose how you rise. And the strength of a person is not in how perfectly they lived, but in how powerfully they recover. Too many people waste their energy wishing they had started sooner, spoken louder, walked away faster, loved differently, trusted less. But all that energy is being spent on shadows of what can no longer be touched, no longer be changed. You must reclaim that energy, you must bring it back into the now, because the only place you can build, the only place you can heal, the only place you can rise is here. Right now, there is a reason the rear-view mirror is smaller than the windshield, because what is ahead of you is more important than what is behind you. But if you keep turning your head to the past, you will crash your future. Some of you have been carrying regret for years, carrying it like a trophy of pain. You wear it in your silence. You wear it in your hesitation. You wear it in your fear to try again, and the longer you carry it, the heavier it becomes. The heavier it becomes, the more it steals from you, and slowly, without realizing, you stop dreaming, you stop believing, you stop living. Let me speak truth to your heart. You cannot win the war ahead if you keep mourning the battle behind. You must forgive yourself. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is freedom. You must forgive the version of yourself that did not know better, that was broken, that was confused, that was scared. You must look that person in the mirror and say, I love you still. I trust you now, and I'm not dragging your shame into my future. You were not designed to be perfect. You were designed to evolve. Growth requires mistakes. Wisdom requires failure. Courage requires scars. Every chapter in your life has a purpose. Even the ones that made you cry, even the ones that nearly broke you, because those chapters taught you what ease could never teach. And if you survived it, then you were not meant to stay in it. You were meant to rise from it and lead others out. Some people will try to remind you of who you used to be, but don't you forget, you are not that person anymore. You are wiser now, stronger now, clearer now, and the proof of your strength is not in avoiding the fire, it's in walking through it and coming out refined. Do not let anyone, including yourself, reduce you to a former version you have already outgrown. So I say to you, release regret. Let it burn, let it break, let it go. Use that energy to rebuild. Use that fire to ignite your next chapter. Because if you do not make peace with your past will make war with your future. One of the greatest dangers to your destiny is not always the battles you fight. It is the battles you were never meant to fight, but chose to anyway. Too many of us waste our sacred energy not on building, not on creating, not on growing, but on engaging in wars that were never ours to begin with. We get pulled into chaos because someone called our name. We get dragged into drama because someone threw a stone. We allow every insult, every criticism, every small fire to provoke us into a reaction. But let me speak a truth few will tell you. You cannot fight everything and win anything. You cannot rise to purpose while wrestling with distractions. You must choose your wars with the wisdom of someone who knows their energy is holy. Some of us are not tired because we are weak. We are tired because we are too available to nonsense. We are tired because we give our energy to every argument, every rumor, every insult, every confrontation. Someone says something disrespectful, and suddenly we drop everything to defend our name. Someone disagrees with our path, and we turn to explain our vision. We allow minor voices to become major interruptions. And while we are busy responding to what does not matter, what truly matters is being left undone. Let me tell you this with clarity. Your energy is not cheap. Your attention is not a gift to be handed to every noise on the street. You must develop the discipline to know when to speak and when to walk away. You must understand the difference between a necessary war and a noisy trap. Because not all battles are a threat. Some are distractions in disguise, and if you fight every time someone provokes you, you will exhaust your soul before your true mission even begins. Every battle has a price. Some cost time, others cost peace, but the most dangerous ones cost purpose. There are conversations that feel urgent but are irrelevant. There are confrontations that feel righteous but are rooted in ego. There are offenses that seem personal, but are simply projections. And if you do not learn to pause, to filter, to walk away when necessary, your life will become one long emergency room for wounds you never had to suffer. You must ask yourself daily, is this battle helping me build? Is this conflict pushing me closer to my calling? Or is it simply another detour designed to delay me? You cannot afford to be a warrior for everything. You are not called to fix everyone's problems. You are not assigned to carry every burden. Some fires must burn out on their own. Some voices must echo into emptiness. Some wars must rage without your sword. Because when you spend your strength on meaningless fights, you weaken your impact on meaningful change. Look at the ones who build empires. The ones who shift nations, the ones who move generations. They do not show up to every argument. They are not seen in every shouting match. They understand the weight of their time. They understand the sacredness of their mission. They choose their battles like kings. And that is what you must do. You must rise above the noise. You must be strategic with your silence. You must protect your fire from being lit by every spark that comes your way. There is wisdom in walking away. There is power in restraint. Not every silence is surrender. Sometimes silence is your strongest weapon, because when you know who you are, when you know where you are going, not every insult deserves an answer. Not every disrespect deserves a reply. You are not here to prove your power to fools. You are here to fulfill your purpose, to build something that will echo long after the noise has faded. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. Let go of the need to fight every injustice personally. Let go of the false responsibility to fix what you did not break. Sometimes peace is won not by what you confront, but by what you choose to ignore. Sometimes your real strength is not in how loud you roar, but in how wisely you choose silence, because the enemy of greatness is not always failure. It is often distraction dressed in urgency. So I say to you, stop pouring your precious energy into meaningless fires. Stop lending your strength to empty wars. Stop explaining your vision to those who lack the eyes to see. You were not called to be everywhere, for everyone, at all times. You were called to fulfill one mission, and that mission requires focus, clarity, and discipline.